Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers far and wide. Welcome in to episode number 72 of the Talking the Line podcast. Hey, thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to come and kick it with the crew on this beautiful Friday of bets. Now, before we talk some lines for you today and dive deep into the value that we found across today's slates, please take a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the TTL pod. If you are watching on YouTube, might as well hit that notification bell as well so you never miss the start of a live show. But if you are listening to the audio recorded version on your favorite podcast directory, be sure you hit the subscribe button there too so you never miss the release, as we do drop the audio after every live show. Next item up on the docket, if you could be so kind and you do have an additional second of time on your hands there, go ahead, hit that like button, leave us a comment down below, leave us a rating, all that good stuff. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it when you do, and it only helps us make TTL Sports Media bigger and better for each and every one of you. And last but not least, head on over to this episode's description where you can locate the Talking the Line link tree. Within that link tree, you will find all of the TTL Crew's content so you can consume it however and whenever you please. Ladies and gentlemen, and beautiful gambling people joining us on today's show, I am your humble host, Colt 45 Soroka. And boy, oh boy, am I ready to get the money train steaming down the tracks on this beautiful Friday, June 2nd, 2021. If you haven't checked your calendars, July 2nd, 2021. If you haven't checked your calendars yet, I got to check my own calendar. If you ain't watching live, you might have just heard some random mythical voice come through in the background. If you're watching live, you do know who that man is now. So it's time to bring in the co-host of the Talking the Line podcast, a young man who is coming off of a very happy evening after a first five sweat where his White Sox got the outright victory at the Guaranteed Rate Field. His Green Bay Packers, all the drama, the nonsense, the wildness has started to cool down for the time being, but I do believe the fire will soon be reignited and maybe turn into a dumpster fire in Green Bay, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, the man, the myth, the degenerate gambling legend himself, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how you doing over there today, pal?
My man, I am doing just fantastic. You like to do those tiny little jabs, drive-by jabs, but I ain't having it.
What do you mean? It's just an intro, man. What do you mean?
Yeah, for sure. And, it's Friday. I'm feeling damn good. We got 4th of July weekend coming up, and not too much better to be, heading into than this type of weekend.
Absolutely. I tell you what, you could, if you could, for just a brief half a second. It's a little stuffy in the old TTL production studios here. I'm going to click on that old AC. That way we got it feeling good and nice in here. If you could just, 5 seconds worth of filler material for these beautiful people, and I will be right back, you lovely, kind folks joining us today.
Got to get that air. It's usually me that's asking for that, but
I'm saying, I'm hot today.
It's all you. Go ahead, my man. 4th of July weekend. I have no idea what my plans are.
Oh, look, I'm back.
That was real quick. Maybe we'll dive into some 4th of July stuff later, but I'm juiced, man. One of my favorite holidays. Kind of got I honestly don't remember what I did last year. A lot of people, things were a little bit open in the summer last year, but,
But not really at all. There weren't any, no fireworks, no nothing. So just like you, my friend, I'm actually looking forward to getting out, getting about, seeing some people, seeing what's going on. Definitely trying to catch some fireworks this weekend, though. I will tell you that. I am a bit of a pyromaniac, if you will.
Yes,
so.
You are.
Big fan of that stuff. However, Before we do anything else, before we talk a little bit more nonsense, tell you what's coming up on today's show, let's quickly get into yesterday's best bets of the day. As you guys know the deal, we're a full transparency pod here at the Talking the Line podcast. Said it twice just so you know we're a podcast. There's 3 times for you. And yesterday's best bets of the day now live on the screen. Thank you, partner. I appreciate you to the moon and back. 2-0-1 for Mr. Magnuson. He has got himself back on the up escalator, and he is extending an olive branch to me. I don't know who has been watching my plays. I don't know what the issue is. You guys sit here and listen to me give you analysis and stone cold stats as to why these plays should cash. And my partner showed up here at the production studios this morning, and I said, partner, what the fuck? And he goes, man, those are just, I can't even tell you what the hell's going on. So I've revamped everything. I got a couple of spreadsheets rocking and rolling. I'm getting my entire betting game revamped. I'm done jacking around. I'm done messing around. You will no longer ever see an 0-4, 0-5, no 0 for days from me ever again. And today, I do believe I got a 4-0 coming straight up. Nonetheless, below all of that, we did get a special play to the window. We were hoping that the Marlins game was going to be played. However, it got postponed for a later date, but we cashed the Mariners' first 5 run line with ease. And the White Sox, they did get a beautiful victory in it, a 9-5 or 8-5.
I want to say 8-5.
8-5, I believe it was. Either way, got a win, and we cashed the Triple Play Thursday parlay. And then the Moneyline Dice hit a cold streak yesterday. 0-2 on the day for the Dice, but on the week, they are still 6-3. I do believe. 5-3. 5-3 actually they were 5-1 yesterday. So 5-3 for the Moneyline Dice, looking to close out the week strong on one final roll. But let's get those doggone plays off the screen. First things first. You got anything?
Oh, I was just gonna say my crown of first 5 pushes is still firmly on my head.
Yes, it is.
I am the king of
you
first 5
are the king
pushes.
of first 5 pushes. That is correct.
Should have been a win. They almost blew it and got me the L. Sox fought back and got the push, but man, am I the king of first 5 pushes.
It was very, very, very close to a loss. I cannot believe they came back and tied that at 4, but hey, we got the push due to it. My promise to you, ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, I am not dishing out losers. I just am not allowing it to happen. I promise you here, that is my promise to you right now. I don't know what this week has been. I think it's just been a very weird week of offenses and everything in between. And some of the plays that I have taken when we do a little bit of research early, or were some of the ones that were at the bottom of my list. So a little bit of revamp, a little bit of reconfiguration, if you will, of the morning hunt, and I do believe we are on track today. If you haven't read the description, ladies and gentlemen, we got 8 MLB best bets coming at you today. My partner's got 2 team totals and 2 money lines coming at you hot and heavy. Myself, you know the deal. I love the first 5s. I got 3 first 5 run lines, or 2 run lines coming at you, 1 money line, and then we have a full game run line that I am all over and loving the value on. Then we are bringing back, for the second segment of the day, the special play of the day, the Chicago Baseball Parlay. Haven't done it for a couple weeks. It's been the primetime parlay, but obviously, you know, White Sox, Cubs, we take a play out of each one of those games, parlay those bad boys up for right around plus 260 here today for the Chicago Baseball Parlay. So stick around for the second segment of the show. We'll be sure to get into that for you. Then we'll recap all the best bets, let you guys know everything, give you an opportunity to smash them in on whatever your favorite sportsbook is, and they will be live on your screen. Then the all-knowing, ever-present, all-powerful Moneyline Dice will be stopping by the show for the third segment of the day to give their roll and their best bets for tonight's matchup between the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals. Kind of a weird matchup for the pitchers. You got Brady Singer and J.A. Happ. A lot of weird lines and numbers, so we said not for us, it's for the dice. That'll wrap up everything on the first half of the TTL pod today. That's all the bets, analysis, trends, everything we got there. Then, moving into the second half of today's show, into the rants and reactions, into the deep, dirty, nitty-gritty world that is sports news, we will be diving into some hot news coming out of the Olympics that we both are very, very upset about. We will get back into the NCAA endorsement deals and players being paid, and you might be surprised to find out that my tone has changed from one day. Holy shit, I got a lot to talk about. I still got a lot to get off my chest. I know my partner does too, so make sure you stick around for today's Rants and Reactions. We got a Friday episode for you, let me tell you that. And then last but not least, you know the deal. You know the drill. You know what I do for you. You guys are so kind to give us your time, so I want to give you a little bit back. Give you a little inspiration and motivation, get you through the rest of this Friday on into your weekend. Gonna share a little quote from the legendary MJ, Michael Jordan. Give you a little bit of my perspective behind that and some additional thought to carry you through the rest of this weekend till I get to see you again on Monday. So stick around for Colts Motivation Minutes all the way at the end of the show. Couple of additional reminders. Follow us on the Action Network HQ app. You can follow me at cash_with_Colt. My partner, Mr. Riley Magnuson at RMags, all caps. And then you can follow the best bets of the day if you don't have a chance to stop by the pod or whatever the case might be where you don't see the best bets. Follow at Talking the Line on the Action Network app. Make it super easy. You can see all of our best bets, special plays, dice roll, everything in between is posted there. So make sure you follow us on the Action app. Outside of that, make sure you stay locked into our Twitters. If you don't want to go searching for it, again, hit that link tree. We put all of our socials, all of our content right there. Mags, every once in a while, pretty consistently been coming out with that prop of the day. He's been pretty doggone hot and looking pretty good. Nothing too crazy to write home about, but he's been cashing tickets on those props of the day. Oh, yeah. Myself personally, been looking at some of the pitcher matchups. Might have a daily draw coming out for you kind degenerates out there today, but still TBD, if you will. Outside of that, partner, anything I missed, anything we need to get off the docket here before we dive real deep into today's slates?
I don't think so. Maybe just a quick tally site reminder.
Oh, yes. If you do would like to, I don't really even know how to tee this up. The easiest way, we have partnered with TallySite. They are basically a company who helps us provide better picks, better insights, everything to you. They are a full sports gambling community. You can follow our picks on there as well. They do have a premium membership. It's $2.99 a month, and there are some of the biggest names in the sports gambling industry or involved with TallySite rather. So you can get that if you do go through one of our pages and you would like to get a membership. You can get 70% off a month, so super cheap for you there to get all of the best picks, insights, analysis in the industry that are currently out there right now. We're going to continue to grow, expand, make this bigger and better. Our content's going to become bigger and better because of this. And then we have some dedicated landing pages as well that you guys can directly look at our picks. Don't have to go anywhere. Can click a button and it takes you right to your favorite sports book. You can, and our bet is already pre-populated into your sportsbook for you. So just some amazing stuff that is coming from this. The capabilities and the stuff that they see, the future is really their vision of the sports gambling industry. And with them being a tech company, it is awesome to work with them and see all the vision that they have and some of the behind the scenes stuff that we had no idea about yet. So make sure you check us out on TallySite. Check TallySite out on Twitter at TallySite, TallySight. Thank you again, TallySite, for partnering with us and having our backs when it comes to content. Outside of that, and for now, cut all the banter, cut all the nonsense, cut all the gossip you could go to every other sports media outlet and get. We know why you come here, but let me tell you again. For the stone cold locks and running tickets to the window with the TTL crew all day and night long. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we've been blabbing, we've been gabbing. It's time to get into the first half of episode number 72 on this beautiful July 2nd, 2021. Didn't mess it up that time, pal. I'm in action, and it's time for the first segment of the day, the TTL Crew's best bets of the day. And if you haven't been here before, you're soon to find out. But if you have, you know the drill. The first half of the first segment of the day. RMags best bets of the day. Told you just briefly a little while ago that he's got 4 best bets coming at you. I absolutely love the value he targeted here. He could have gone for some run lines. He could have gone for some money lines, but he said, no. These are the value out of these games. I looked, tried to go up and down, see if I could have any counter arguments. I got nothing. This guy has got solid plays today. So ladies and gentlemen, get out your brooms, get them dusted off, get them ready for a nice sweeping session this evening. Open up your sports book so you can hammer these bad boys in, and open up your minds for a sheer outpouring of knowledge from Mr. RMags. And without further ado, and as always, partner, you have the floor.
I appreciate that. It was a good intro for that one.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, first play of the day coming out of the Mets versus Yankees Subway Series. I am taking the Yankees first 5 money line. Now, you might be surprised to hear me say that because of the names of this pitching matchup and because I've been taking Taijuan Walker a handful of times. It's Taijuan Walker versus Jordan Montgomery. But in this specific spot, I am fading Taijuan Walker, believe it or not. He's coming in with a very solid 2.38 ERA. However, he's got a 3.32 ERA on the road. And in his career versus the Yankees, he's sporting a career batting average against of 404 and 522 OBP. And he is a record 0-3 in his career versus the Yankees himself. And this Yankees offense, last 10 versus righties, is really cooking along, partner. 266 batting average, 379 OBP, and 5.57 runs per 9. They are taking care of business right now. And the Mets are 8-13 on their side of things in 2021 versus lefty starters. So that brings me to Jordan Montgomery. He's got a 3.77 ERA in June. He's been pretty consistently right around 4 ERA overall. But the Yankees are actually 4-1 in his June starts, and he is a much better 2.61 ERA at home. So this spot specifically, you got Taijuan Walker. 3.32 ERA on the road is very solid, no doubt. But this team specifically, for whatever reason, is just built to beat Taijuan Walker. I'm not saying he's going to get touched up, torched, or anything like that. But I think you see a really solid outing from Jordan Montgomery here today. And, just enough out of the Yankees offense to take care of this one. Maybe the sweatiest, I would say, maybe a 3-2 Yankees first 5. I think they might even get him for 4, and I really think Jordan Montgomery is going to show out today. That Mets offense can't really be trusted right now. Last 10 versus lefty on their side of things, 222 batting average, 286 OBP, and 3.8 runs per 9 partners. So I love the Yankees first 5 money line today. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was kind of back and forth on this one, and then once I dove into the Taijuan Walker numbers, I'm really glad you mentioned those. I could not believe with how good he has been this season, how terrible he has been in the past against these Yanks. The Mets 8-13 against left-handed pitching, so I think that looms super large here, even with Montgomery being a little less than what we would like to see from consistency, but I think he just has just enough, in your words, my friend, to get the job done, and the Yankees offense as well. So I will be hammering in and have already hammered in, I hope you do too, the Yankees first 5 money line. Keep it grooving, keep it moving right along. Play number 2, OTD, RMags best bets of the day.
All right, sticking with the AL East here, I am taking out of the Rays versus Blue Jays. I am taking the Blue Jays first 5 money line. You've got Luis Patino on the mound for the Rays, right-hander versus Alek Manoah, right-hander for the Blue Jays. And now there's Luis Patino, 21-year-old, making his 4th start on the season, 6th appearance. He's gotten gradually worse in each appearance. 0 earned runs in his first 2 appearances, 1 earned run each in his next 2, and now 4 earned runs in his last one versus Baltimore. You've heard me say it, I think, a couple times this week. Whenever you get a young pitcher like this, especially a 21-year-old this young, comes out nice and strong. Guys have never seen him before, and now you start to see a little bit of tape on him. He's a little bit more predictable. Guys know what to expect. And I think that's going to be the case today. On the road, only a couple of appearances, but 5 earned runs over 6 1/3 innings pitch. And he's facing a Jays offense that has been very hot. They were held down yesterday by Yusei Kikuchi, as we predicted on the Triple Play Thursday parlay. But Kikuchi has been an absolute monster lately. And the Jays are better against right-handers right now. Last 10 versus righties, 318 batting average, 382 OBP, and 6.75 runs per 9. So they are taking care of business with right-handers on the mound. And Alek Manoah, not the biggest reason that I'm taking this, but I do like him enough to side with the Jays on defensively to hold down the Rays. He's got a 3.34 ERA on the season, and he's coming off of a 0 earned run outing versus Baltimore in his last. So this guy is kind of going contrary to what I've been saying, about Luis Patino in this pick and about some pitchers, young pitchers this week that I've been talking about. I think he's just a really doggone good pitcher, and as I said, he's coming off of a 0-earned outing versus Baltimore, so he's kind of flipped that script on me already, and he's facing a Rays team versus right-handers last 10 games, 188 batting average, 281 OBP. So the Rays aren't really hitting right-handers right now. They can kind of manufacture runs here and there, but I think in this situation, you're going to have a Blue Jays offense that's just going to touch up this inexperienced pitcher, and we see a first 5. I don't want to say easy casher, but I really have all the faith in the world in this Blue Jays offense today.
I do in this one as well. That young guy Patino, he didn't give me the most confidence, and he is slowly regressing to the rookie mean, and I think we see one of the worst outings from him so far here today, especially after the Blue Jays. I mean, we predicted it. We knew the pitching matchup was going to kind of loom large in that regard, and we thought that the Blue Jays might lose that game outright as well. So they're going to be a little chapped coming in here today and ready to get that victory. So I'm right there once again with your partner. Blue Jays first 5 money line, second best bet of the day, coming from RMags. Moving on down the list here, we got 1 and 2 covered. Now it's time for number 3, going to a team total. My friend, could you be so kind and indulge us?
I will. Going over to the NL this time around for a little Cardinals versus Rockies, and I am taking the Rockies team total over 6 in Coors Field today. You got Johan Oviedo on the mound for the Cardinals, right-hander, and now obviously this doesn't play a factor into this play, but I'll mention it just because this is a reason why I went to the team total as opposed to backing the Rockies to win this game or their first 5 or anything like that. Chichi Gonzalez is on the mound for the Rockies, but he's a little too unpredictable, so I like the Rockies offense for sure to take care of business against Johan Oviedo. He's got a 5.23 ERA on the season, 5.09 ERA in June, and he is coming off 5 earned runs over 4 innings pitched versus Pittsburgh last week. And he is bringing a 6.91 ERA in his road starts into Coors Field. An opposing team has scored at least opposing teams against him have scored at least 7 runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. Obviously, that's not all on him, but he gets the tone set for the other team's offense to take care of business. And this Rockies offense, last 5 versus righties, 297 batting average, 366 OBP. So they're really clipping along right now. And even if it's not Oviedo, I do think it's going to be 4 or 5 runs on Oviedo at least. But this Cardinals pen, 4.67 ERA over their last 5 games. A little bit shaky. Not the worst bullpen in the league, but certainly not the top half of it. They are just too shaky for me to have any type of confidence in them. And I just really like this Rockies offense in Coors Field right now. And we've both been kind of fading Oviedo the last couple of months, and it's worked out for us. He is nothing special coming into his first season here. And as I mentioned, 6.91 ERA coming into the offensive Superdome that is Coors Field. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but you know what I'm trying to say here. So all that being said, I love this Rockies team to put up a boatload of runs today, partner.
I do as well. I think they get over 6 nice and easy. I would say the least that they put up today is 7 or 8. For sure, I would say 8, actually. I'm leaning way more towards 8. I don't think this gets over by 1 run. I think it's 2 or more, maybe even on the or more side of things. So I think there is some solid value on this Rockies team total. Johan Oviedo, nothing to shake a stick at, not really anything you need to be backing. So love the play, my friend. Third best bet of the day, the Rockies team total over 6 runs. 1, 2, and 3 best bets coming from RMags today. Now it's time for the 4th and final best bet from my man.
All right. Partner already mentioned it. Another team total coming out of this one. Back to the AL this time. West Coast. I'm going Orioles versus Angels. Angels team total over 5. You've got Keegan Aiken on the mound for the Orioles, left-hander. And again, Griffin Canning on the mound for the Angels. Like him too. I think I'm going to sprinkle some on the Angels -1.5 and the over in this game, but still not quite enough confidence in him to back the Angels like that. I do have all the confidence in the world in their offense against Keegan Aiken, who has a 7.11 ERA on the season, 8.61 ERA in June, and at least 5 earned runs allowed in each of his last 3 starts. So if we're putting this exact spot in his last 3 starts, he has taken care of it for the other team in his own start, not even the bullpen here. He's got a 7.94 ERA on the road, and the Angels themselves have scored at least 5 runs in each of their last 4 games. Last 5 versus lefties, 264 batting average, 346 OBP, and 6.38 runs per 9. That Orioles pen also, I already mentioned, Keegan Aiken has been taking care of it for the other team himself, but if it does need to get to the bullpen, Orioles bullpen last 10, 5.14 ERA. like I mentioned, I might take a little bit on the Angels here, but just not quite enough confidence in Griffin Cannon on the mound for them. I still love that offense, and I have no problem backing them against the Orioles. And like I said, I think they might at least get 8-9 runs here in this one, partner. What do you think?
I agree with you once again. The Angels are hot at the plate. They caught a couple bad beats at the hands of the Yankees, and then the Yankees caught a couple bad beats at the hands of them. So 5 runs seems very, very low for the Angels here today, especially against Keegan Aiken, and you hit on the Baltimore bullpen as well. Way too shaky, way too inconsistent for my liking. I am 150%, and once again have already hammered in this play. Angels team total over 5 runs for RMags' fourth and final best bet of the day.
If you're feeling juicy, plus money on the 5.5. I already did a little bit on that one as well.
Okay, there you go. There you have it. Anything else you needed to drop down, lay down, analyze, discuss, trend, talk, anything in between?
That's all I got.
All right, my friend. Well, hey, I appreciate it, and I know those kind folks out there appreciate it. Hope you got those bad boys smashed in on your favorite sports book and got them ready for prime time cashing. But right now, it's time to keep the first segment moving along, keep this whole show steaming on down the tracks with the second half of the first segment of the day. You know the deal. My best bets of the day. I also told you at the top of the show, I got 4 best bets coming at you today, and I'm not going to hesitate or delay. I'm not going to waste any time. I think the problem is I've been going a little too slow. Spend a little too much time on stuff that don't matter.
Okay.
So we're going to get right to the point, right to the chase, light speed, ladies and gentlemen. So get those sports books out again. Get ready to hammer these bad boys in as soon as I drop them down. My first best bet of the day, I am going to the matchup between the San Diego Padres and the Philadelphia Phillies, and I am not taking what the popular side I believe is going to be today. I am taking the Philadelphia Phillies first 5 money line. Now, the Padres are hitting a bit of a slump at the plate right now, and they've actually looked a little confused to me on the field at times here so far. I don't really know what's going on with the Padres. They've been a very solid team all year, but I think it's starting to hit that midseason slump for this Padres team, even though they have gotten some quality wins. The first 5 innings have not been so hot for this team as of late. Now, for the Phillies, they're starting to kind of improve here a little bit and have started to get the job done when need be and have especially got it done at home. We just need them here in the first 5 innings, and I think they get the job done. But I think the pitching matchup looms very, very large here today. Chris Paddock on the mound for the Pods, and on the mound for the Phils, you have Zach Wheeler. Now, Paddock has been all right, not good, not great. He's given up 3 earned runs or more in 3 of his last 5 starts overall. The other 2 starts were 2 earned runs, so he's still giving up runs there. It's not like he is limiting them in any capacity whatsoever. He's also allowed 5 home runs in his last 5 starts overall. Not something you want to be seeing against a high-powered Phillies team that has been built to win and needs to start winning now. He has a 5.59 ERA in the month of June, and he has not faced Philadelphia yet this year, but Chris Paddock on the mound against the Phillies in his career, 22 at-bats, 387 opponent batting average, 387 OBP, and a 967 OPS. So these Phillies more than get the job done against him, and against righties at home, these Phillies have been very, very good this season. 240 batting average, 325 OBP, and a 5.26 runs per 9. And last but certainly not least, the Padres in their last 5 games overall, when Paddock takes the mound for the start, 2 and 3 straight up in the first 5 innings overall. Now for Zach Wheeler, he has been the money man, one of the only guys, it seems now, I don't know what's happened in the rest of that rotation, but Wheeler has been the picture of consistency for this Phillies rotation. He's given up 0 earned runs in 3 out of his last 5 starts, and the other 2 starts were a 2 earned run outing and a 3 earned run outing, both against the red-hot Washington Nationals, who you might hear me talk about in just a little bit with another play. However, in 9 home starts, he has been very, very, very good. He's actually much better at home. He's had 9 starts overall, 181 opponent batting average allowed, 2.05 ERA, and has done this all over 61 1/3 innings pitched. Wheeler has a 1.44 ERA in the month of June, and he has not faced San Diego either this year, but his career numbers are pretty solid. 23 at-bats, 251 batting average, 333 OBP, and a 685 OPS. Philadelphia is 2-1-2 straight up in the first 5 innings in his last starts, with the one loss coming off further off in the distance. So I like the Phillies to get it done here today, but a couple of closing trends. Philly is 3-1-1 straight up in the first 5 innings in their last 5 games overall, whereas San Diego is 3-2 straight up in the first 5 innings in their last 5. Philadelphia is 8-2 straight up in the last 10 home games for them versus a team with a winning record. San Diego is 3-10 straight up in their last 13 road games, 0-5 straight up in their last 5 games as a road dog, and this has been a week of offense, ladies and gentlemen. The Phillies are going to come out hot. The Padres are going to come out cold, as they have all week. I'm sticking to the trends. I'm not worried about anything else in between, and I'm hammering the Phillies first 5 money line.
I'll be right there with you, my man. As you kind of mentioned, it wouldn't shock me if the Padres made a late push in the second half of this game, but I love Zach Wheeler as much as you do to hold him down today. That home ERA is no joke. So I'll be right there with you, my man.
Yeah, I like the value on the Padres money line, but a little bit better value here.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's too many question marks on the Padres right now, and especially who knows what Paddock might give up today. Right. So first pick, Phillies first 5 money line. Second best bet of the day. Moving right along, I told you might be hearing about this team here in just a second, about 2 moments ago, and you're about to now. For my second best bet of the day, I am taking the Washington Nationals first 5 run line plus a half. If you want to get risky, I also like the first 5 money line, but I like a little bit of a safer play here, getting the half run backing. Now, last night, this game only went 5 innings between these two teams. The Dodgers ended up winning rather convincingly. However, the Nats were up 2-1 before it went into rain delay in the 4th inning. So I like them to kind of return to that form. I think it was after the rain delay. They came out, 5 runs go up on the board, and there goes the ball game. I don't think that's going to be the case today, especially with this pitching matchup. You have Julio Urias taking the mound for the Dodgers and Mad Max Scherzer on the mound for the Nats. Needless to say, Mad Max has been classic Mad Max. 1 earned run or less in 5 of his last 6 starts overall. He's had 7 home starts so far this season with a 162 opponent batting average allowed, 1.96 ERA, and over 41 in a third innings pitched there at home. In the month of June, he's got a 1.42 ERA, and against the Dodgers this year, he has a 1.50 ERA in 6 innings pitched. His career numbers against the Dodgers are also very good. 82 at-bats overall, 132 opponent batting average, 274 OBP, and a 567 OPS. So consistently, Scherzer has dominated these Nationals. But as for Urias on the opposing mound, he started off the season pretty doggone good, but now he has firmly planted himself on a seat on the struggle bus, ladies and gentlemen. He has given up a combined 20 earned runs over his last 6 starts, 2 earned runs or more in 5 of those last 6 starts. He's given up 7 home runs in his last 6 games overall, and we all know with this Nationals team right now, that is not something you want to be struggling with. In the month of June, Urias has a 4.85 ERA. Versus Washington this year in 5 2/3 innings pitched, he has a 4.76 ERA, and career numbers versus this Nationals team, not good at all. 49 at-bats, 311 opponent batting average, 330 on-base percentage, and a 717 on base plus slugging. The Nationals take care of Urias, and Scherzer takes care of the Dodgers. So I absolutely love that. But a final couple key trends. I might end up springing a little bit on the full game money line here. Not too sure. However, the Nats could tie for first place in the NL East with a win here today. Would absolutely be huge for them and the rest of their season. Not to mention the Nats are 10-1 straight up in their last 11 home games, 14-3 straight up in their last 17 overall. I love Scherzer to stay hot. I love Urias to continue to struggle, and I love the Nats bats to continue to hit bombs. So with the second best bet coming from me today, I got the Washington Nationals first 5 run line plus a half.
You nailed that one, my man. I am right there. I was already right there with you. If I wasn't already, I'm definitely on there now.
Appreciate it.
Even if it wasn't Max Scherzer on the mound today, I would still be really interested in the same play, just because that Nats offense versus lefty specifically is so hot, and you're giving them a lefty that they have proven to hit in the past. And then you sprinkle in Mad Max Scherzer in there. I've got no problem with the plus a half on this one.
I appreciate all of that. I'm glad you mentioned that as well. The Nats right now against lefties have just been righties, lefties, southpaws, everything in between. They are destroying the baseball right now. So gladly backing them for my second best bet. All right, keep it moving, keep it grooving. Here we go. Third best bet coming from me today. I'm back in the well. I'm back on the train. I think the boys are back on the tracks themselves. So for my third best bet, I will be taking the Houston Astros on the run line, -1.5. They're heating back up, as I just told you, and I think the Indians are just, I know. They're way too doggone inconsistent for me to trust in any capacity. They rifle off a win here or there, but I do not trust the boys from Cleveland. Most especially, I do not trust this pitching matchup whatsoever today. I'm not a huge fan of laying road chalk. They're pretty chalky here. It's actually pretty valuable on the run line, right around -125. I think that probability is rated pretty doggone close to what this should be at. But back to the pitching matchup, you got Lance McCullers Jr. on the mound for the Stros, and on the mound for the Indians is going to be Sam Hentges. Now, McCullers has given up 2 earned runs or less in 5 out of his last 6 starts, has been really dominant in this rotation. Was a little struggly to start the year, but has really found himself as we get on into the end of June and now into July. He has 3-0 record so far on the road this season. 206 opponent batting average allowed, 286 ERA, and all of that over 28 1/3 innings pitched. In the month of June, he had a 2.87 ERA, and if you look at his career numbers versus Cleveland, you say, Colt, what the hell are you doing? They are way inflated, and it is a very, very small sample size. When you get a guy that goes 2 for 4 and a guy that goes 1 for 5, those generally average out to pretty doggone high numbers, but I think those are going to regress way, way, way to the mean here today, and Lance McCullers will find some early success against this Indians rotation. But for the opposing pitcher, Sam Hentges, he's a lefty. I'll tell you why. I told you that here in a second, but he has been anything but the picture of consistency. He has a 7.32 ERA in 6 starts, 13 games pitched so far this season. He has done that all in 35 2/3 innings pitched. He's got a 7.62 ERA back in the month of June. 2 home starts overall for Mr. Hentges. He has also pitched 7 games at home in addition to those 2 starts. 281 opponent batting average allowed and a 4.02 ERA. Houston has not faced him this season, him being a rookie pitcher, obviously not in his career either. They are getting hot, and they have been hot against lefties. They have hit lefties so well all season long, and I think that they continue to do that here today. Against lefties on the season, 295 batting average, 372 OBP, and a 7.63 runs per 9. They hit a little bit of a slump here recently, but they're getting it turned around. They won last night's game very convincingly, way more than 2 runs, and I think they get the job done here once again today. However, a couple of key trends that I'm looking at. Houston has won 5 out of the last 6 McCullers starts, 4 of those 5 wins by 2 runs or more. Cleveland is 4-6 straight up in the last 10 games overall, 5 of those coming by 2 or more runs. And Cleveland is 0-4 straight up in their last 4 in game 2 of a series. Cleveland is 1-7 straight up, you know me, in their last 8 Friday games. And Cleveland is 16-21 ATS at home, with Houston being 22-18 ATS at home. Give me all of the Astros here on the -1.5 run line. I think they get the job done very easily today.
I'm all over that one with you, my man. You know how I felt about the Astros last week. As you mentioned, they hit a little bit of a rocky patch for a few days, but yesterday got right back on it, and now you're giving us a mediocre lefty. I think it's going to be a feast for that offense again today, so I've got no problem backing you again on this one either.
Appreciate you, my friend. There's my third best bet. Let's wrap things up with my fourth and final best bet of the day. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Going to the matchup between the Texas Rangers and Seattle Mariners. And I am taking the Texas Rangers first 5 run line plus a half. Once again, I also like their first 5 money line, but I like the value and I like the safer play we're getting here with the half run backing. This is really not, even though you might think so, because the Rangers got me yesterday against the Oakland Athletics at all. This is a very sharp play, and once again comes down to the pitching matchup for me. Very, very lopsided numbers, and Texas has a bit of an edge as well, as they have scored 26 combined runs overall over their last 5 games. Now back to the pitching matchup. Kyle Gibson, my man on the mound for the Rangers. He has been the picture of consistency in this rotation. He has been one of the only guys that this Rangers rotation or Rangers team can depend on to have quality, consistent starts. Everybody else, out the window. Can't tell you anything. But Gibson, I know he's good. He has been solid this season with 15 starts. He's got a 6-0 record, 200 opponent batting average allowed, 263 on base percentage, pristine 1.01 whip, 2.00 ERA, and he's done all of this over 90 innings pitched. He has been doing the damn thing, ladies and gentlemen. Back in June, he had an ERA of 1.52, and he's given up 1 run or less in 4 out of his last 6 starts, and those other 2 starts were only 2 earned run outings, so he's not giving up a boatload. He has really limited opponent offenses. Seattle has hit him well in the past. You will see some of those numbers. They might scare you away, but they're not scaring me away because this is the best season we have seen from Kyle Gibson in over 8 years. He is back. I don't know where this resurgence came from, but I have to back him until further notice. As for the opposing pitcher, Logan Gilbert, rookie, he's been okay, back and forth, good, bad, but surprisingly, he has struggled mightily at home this season. He's had 4 home starts. He's got an 0-2 record, 6.38 ERA, 274 opponent batting average, and he's done all of that only over 18 1/3 innings. So he has given up runs early, often, and at will, my friends. He has given up 3 earned runs or more in all 4 of those home starts. So he's just letting teams rake. That is all I can say. Texas also has not faced him this year, and then obviously not in his career. But I think they keep that offensive momentum going because they have won 4 out of their last 5 games overall by a combined total of 22 runs. They have scored 26 overall, but won by a combined total of 22. Last but certainly not least, a couple of key trends here. Seattle has gotten the better of Texas this year, especially in Seattle, but they have faced all of the bottom half of the Texas pitching rotation. They haven't faced anybody good or anybody who has been as dominant as Gibson. Traditionally on this season, too, when they face somebody who is dominant as Gibson, it is not a very good evening for them at the plate. I believe that the Rangers are going to get the job done and get the outright win, but once again, I love the half-run backing, and this pitching matchup just looms way too doggone large for me to see Seattle putting up more than 1 run. So gladly, once again, final 4th and best bet from me today. Well, I said that backwards. 4th and final best bet from me today. The Texas Rangers first 5 run line plus a half.
I'll be right there with you again on this one, my man. Love Kyle Gibson as much as you do. Maybe not, but, I still do love him. You do love Kyle Gibson. He's one of your guys. But,
huge on him.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if the Mariners made a late push in this game, but we ain't betting on that. We're betting on the first 5, so I'll be right there with you.
There you have it. There you go. My 4 best bets of the day. Now you have all 8 of our best bets of the day. I hope you had your sports books out and hammered those bad boys in while we were telling them to you, because if you didn't, now you got to wait for us to get through the second segment of the day, and then we'll flash those bad boys back up on the screen, so then you can pull your sports books out again and hammer them in. Without further ado, though, time for that aforementioned second segment of the day, the special play of the day, ladies and gentlemen. I already told you what it is, but one more time, the Chicago Baseball Parlay. You know the deal. Only 2 teams in Chicago that are baseball teams, the Chicago White Sox and the Chicago Cubs. Looked at the money lines, looked at the run lines, looked at the opposing teams, looked at the totals, looked at the team totals. Didn't really know what direction to go in, but then we saw some money. Then we saw some key trends, and we decided we're going for both totals, and we're going under on both totals. So, partner, I'll let you kick things off. Couple key trends, couple key things you're seeing with the first leg of the Chicago Baseball Parlay, the Chicago White Sox versus the Detroit Tigers under 8.5 runs.
Alrighty, can't really tee it up too much better than that. But we've got Lance Lynn versus Casey Mize today, and that pitching matchup is the biggest factor in this side of the parlay here. As a White Sox homer, I would have been confident enough in the money line. However, partner's obviously a little less biased than I am, and I can agree with that because the White Sox do own the Tigers this season. However, Casey Mize is really damn solid, and he has seen the Sox a couple times this year, giving up 3 earned runs in both of those starts. But those games ended up 4-1 and 3-1 finals. And on the other side of the bill, you've got Lance Lynn on the mound. He has been as solid as can be for the Sox this year. And I think it's going to be a similar story today. You're going to see a low-scoring game. Total going to finish around 5-6, in my opinion. To be unbiased, I would predict a 3-2 win one way or the other here. We're in Detroit today, but Casey Mize has been progressively really solid. He ends up giving up a little bit in that 6th, 7th inning, so maybe they pull him a little bit quicker before that to avoid the third time through the lineup. But nonetheless, I've got no problem backing the under in this one. As I mentioned, I think it's going to be a 5-6 total finish here.
Yeah, absolutely. Lance Lynn, Casey Mize, that is all I really need to say for this one to stay under. Both of those guys I expect to have very dominant days. I know the Sox have raked against the Tigers so far this season, but I don't think it's going to be the case today. I think we're going to have a low-scoring one, and yeah, I think the White Sox edge it out, but Casey Mize just scares me too doggone much to put full trust into that.
Right, they've beat him twice this year, but it's not like they barraged him or anything like that. It was a kind of a ho-hum, slow victory for him both times, so I think it's going to be the same.
All right, there you go. First leg of the Chicago Baseball Parlay. The second leg, I am just waiting for you to hit my hand one of these times. The second leg.
If that happens, my man.
Because I have my hand resting on the table and you hit
Hammer's
my
flying,
hand.
Baby. Hammer's
no,
flying.
that I hate. In the comments, who would be at fault if I am resting my hand on the table and Mr. Magnuson slams the hammer down and hits my hand? Who would be at fault at that? Leave it in the comments who you think. But moving right along for the second leg of the Chicago Baseball Parlay, over to my Cubbies. They are taking on this evening the Cincinnati Reds. Reds have heated up a little bit at the plate, so have the Cubbies, but I think this matchup tonight is going to stay way under. Alec Mills on the mound for the Cubs. He had a bit of a rough outing in the first inning, really, and then he kind of came back and found it all over again in his last outing. And then you have Sonny Gray on the mound for the Reds. He's been kind of hit or miss, but he has had some success against the Cubs in the past. I think this one will stay way under the total, but a couple of key trends I really like for this one to stay under. The under is 4-0 in Mills' last 4 starts after allowing 5 or more in the previous game. The under is 5-0 in his last 5 starts on grass overall, and the under is 4-0 in Mills' last 4 road starts overall. As for the Reds, the under is 4-0 in the Reds' last 4 after scoring 5 or more runs in their previous game. It's also 4-0, the under, in the Reds' last 4 games following a win, and the under is 4-0 in the Reds' last 4 games when the total is set at 9.5 or more. I absolutely love the under in this spot. The Cubbies have actually gone to the under in 7 out of their last 10 games with 2 overs and 1 push. The push was at 8 runs. It was 7-1 victory for the Dodgers when they played them in that game. Cubbies are in a bit of a slump. All of the so-called fans have been hopping off the bandwagon as they typically do right around the end of June and July. It's all right. The boys will get it turned around here. Eventually, we can start betting them on the money line again. But for now, I like their total to stay way under. And especially with how the Reds have just kind of been inconsistent back and forth here, I think this one stays way under 9.5. So second leg, Cubs versus Reds, under 9.5 runs.
Yeah, I'll be right there. Obviously, I'm right there with you. It's our parlay
I
together.
would
But,
hope so.
I'm in full agreement of what you just said. I like Sonny Gray to handle the Cubs today, and Alec Mills to do both here. I'm interested to see where the Cubs offense goes from, where they've been, what just happened on Wednesday. They put up 7 runs in the first and then obviously lost that game, but also didn't put up any runs after that. So I'm really interested to see, do they fall back into that slump or do they pick themselves off the floor? Nonetheless, I not to say that they can't win this game, but I think it definitely stays under 9.5.
Absolutely. There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Baseball Parlay coming in at odds right around plus 260. If you want to get accurate, you want to get technical, plus 264 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now. Get it hammered in, but so you can nice and easily, and so you can see everything that we have coming from the TTL Crew today, all of our best bets, the special play, and everything in between. It is now time to recap all of those best bets. Now live on your screen for the first time today. The TTL Crew's best bets for July 2nd, 2021. If you would so kindly turn your attention to the left side of your screen, you will see RMags picks. He's got, once again, 4 coming at you today. He has the New York Yankees first 5 money line, Toronto Blue Jays first 5 money line, Colorado Rockies team total over 6 runs, and the Los Angeles Angels team total over 5 runs. Turn your attention over to the right side of the screen, and I got also 4 picks coming at you. You have the Philadelphia Phillies first 5 money line, the Washington Nationals first 5 run line plus a half, Houston Astros minus 1.5, and the Texas Rangers first 5 run line plus a half. You go right below that, and you will see the Chicago Baseball Parlay, the aforementioned special play of the day. 2 legs on that bad boy. Chicago White Sox versus Detroit Tigers under 8.5, and my Cubbies, Chicago Cubs versus Cincinnati Reds under 9.5. There you go. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 best bets of the day, and the special play coming from the TTL Crew for this beautiful July 2nd, 2021. What a Friday of bets. Get those babies hammered in, locked in. Sprinkle a little bit of cheddar down, whatever you need to say to make sure you get those plays put in at whatever the current best line is on your favorite sportsbook. Now moving right along into the third segment of the betting portion, the first half of the TTL pod. You see some additional wording on the screen there. It is the Moneyline Dice. Told you at the top of the show, we are rolling, or the dice are rolling rather, for the matchup between the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals here today. So without further ado, it is time to get into today's Moneyline Dice roll of the day. As always, as I am getting things set up over here with our kind guests on every episode and getting set up for the viewing quality of our wonderful viewers on the opposite side of that screen. Partner, could you be so kind as to indulge us as to who is the home team here this evening, who's the away team, favorite dog, total, any additional storylines you think we need to know before the dice roll on this matchup? I'll get everything set up, and I'll see all of y'all here in just a few seconds.
Alrighty, I will go ahead and do just that. We've got an AL Central matchup today on the dock for you folks. We've got the Twins at the Kansas City Royals in Kansas City. You've got J.A. Happ on the mound for the Twins versus Brady Singer. A couple of guys, as my partner would like to say, have been on the struggle bus just about all year long. So it's a little bit too unpredictable for us in this one. Twins are coming in with a 3-game losing streak at the hands of my White Sox. Offense wasn't too bad in that series, however. 6 runs, 3 runs, 5 runs. But that pitching staff was a bit rough for the Twins. Now, the Royals are coming in, let's see if it's a 5-game losing streak. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. 9-game losing streak for the Royals. Goodness gracious. So I was a little underestimated on that one. But nonetheless, the Royals on a 9-game losing streak actually coming in at minus 112 favorite. And on the flip side, you got the Twins, obviously, as a dog at plus 104. On the run line here, minus 1.5 for the Royals, plus 160, plus 1.5 for the Twins is at minus 182. And the over-under in this game is set at 10 runs right now. Money splits for this game. Money and bets coming in on the Royals. Big money coming in on the Royals. 62% of the bets coming in on Kansas City, while 74% of the money coming in on the Royals. So you got a 12% difference there in favor of those Royals. While on the over-under here, you've got bigger money coming in on the over as well. 64% of the bet slips coming in on the over, while 84% of the money coming in on the over. So a 20% split there. I mentioned we got a couple of struggling pitchers. Lefty J.A. Happ coming in with a 5.83 ERA on the season. He has been, after a solid start, 1.96 in April. Followed that up with a swift 8.49 ERA in May. And now a little bit better, but still pretty terrible, 6.93 in June. He's coming off 2 and 3 earned runs allowed in his last 2 starts. However, the Twins did get the win in his last 2 starts, 7-5 and 8-2. He has been just terrible on the road, 7.98 ERA. Things could not be worse for this guy. So you would think we might be interested in the Royals despite that losing streak. However, you got Brady Singer on the mound, 4.7 ERA, 4.34 here in June, or this past month here in June. But that's got no confidence for him. He pitched against the Twins in early June, lost that start. Not terrible, 2 earned runs allowed, but the Twins won that game 2-1. So no idea what we're going to see from Brady Singer. A little bit better at home, 4.2 ERA at home. We about there, partner? All righty. Because I got just about all I can say there. So,
until you're running out of a little gas.
Both these guys pretty close in whip, actually. 1.45 for Happ, 1.49 for Singer. So both of them allow some base runners. Pretty similar body of work as far as innings pitched. For Singer, 76 and 2/3, 71 for J.A. Happ. So they have been consistently in the lineup all season long. But we'll see if they stay in there because they pretty much suck, if I can be less candid with you. Or be more candid with you? I don't even know.
More candid, but candid. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely appreciate all the storylines. One more time so I don't have to ask you, as always, what was the total again?
10 runs.
10, okay. I thought this was said, but I didn't say it wrong. All right, so we got the Minnesota Twins going into Kansas City, Missouri to play the Royals. Who are we taking today? Now, for the first time live on this beautiful Friday of bets, you see the Moneyline Dice live on your screen. First roll, as always, ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill, you know the deal. Will we be taking the home team, Kansas City Royals, or the away team, Minnesota Twins? We all find out on this beautiful Friday in 3, in 2, in 1.
Where are we at here? That's the home team Royals.
Home team. Oh.
Kansas City Royals.
Home team, Kansas City Royals. All right, second roll of the day. Are we going ATS? Are we going money line? Let's get juicy. I like it, Dice. Why not let it ride, huh? In 3, in 2, in 1.
Hey, reroll. No computer.
Not that
business.
One. This one.
ATS.
ATS it is. Okay, so home ATS, Kansas City Royals plus 1.5 for the first selection.
There was a little bit of breaking news on the screen there.
All right, make sure you save that here because we're getting right into the Rants Reactions very shortly. But for the wild card roll of the day, shoot.
Home ATS, we're doubling down.
Home ATS. Friday has been becoming the consistent doubling down day. I don't know why, but the dice are seeing things clearly on Fridays. So,
I like it, man. I don't know about you.
The dice have spoken. If you want to guaranteed take a ticket to the window tonight, the Moneyline Dice have doubled down and they are not hearing any of the bullshit. Hammer it in right here, right now. First time live. Kansas City Royals plus 1.5.
Minus 1.5.
Minus 1.5.
They're the favorites.
They're the favorites?
They are the favorites.
Holy cow, I've been saying it wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who do not see it live on your screen and need to hear it one more time, the Kansas City Royals minus 1.5 are today's Moneyline Dice best bet of the day. There you go.
Plus 160, getting juicy.
Plus 160, baby. All right. Thank you, Moneyline Dice. We appreciate you. We love your picks. We love your selections. Let's get back hot today, huh, boys? We'll get you 6 and 3 on the week. Here you go, a little ASMR for you guys. Got a little dice action for you. Get you a little ASMR. Thank you, Dice. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you want your own Moneyline Dice or any of the other amazing products on the MoneylineDice.com website. Don't go searching the intraweb or trying to find all this stuff out yourself. We make it super easy for you. As always, we put everything in this episode's description. Bottom of this description, you're going to see the MoneylineDice.com website. Next to that website, you're going to see a code, TTL10, TTL10. That code is good for you to get 10% off of your first order on MoneylineDice.com. Nothing off limits. So make it easy on yourself. Head on over to this episode's description. Go get your own set of Moneyline Dice or any of the other awesome products that they got. Start rolling with us. Start cashing tickets with the dice. And as we always say, and soon you will too, in the dice we trust.
In the dice we trust. Thank you, Dice.
Thank you, Dice. Thank you, Dice. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Let me make a quick adjustment here before I keep this show moving on down the tracks. Let me get rid of this bad boy on the old computer screen. Okay, here we go. Looking terrific, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a positive week for the Dice since they only got 1 week or one play.
Yes, sir.
Positive
that
day.
is a positive week for the Dice, regardless of what happens this evening. So thank you so much, Dice. Are you guys positive on the week? I'm not. The Dice are. How about that? So there you have it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The first half of the Talking the Line podcast, right at about an hour. Perfect timing, just as always. You got our 8 best bets of the day. You got the Chicago Baseball Parlay. The Moneyline Dice have given you the Kansas City Royals -1.5 for their best bet of the day. You got all of our trends. You got all the analysis. You got all the reasons why we love these plays today. We got nothing else for you. If you are one of the kind gambling folks that just stops by the TTL pod for the first half of the show, that's it. That's a wrap. We ain't getting into no more betting nonsense today. Well, actually, we might a little bit here in the second half. We got some stuff to talk about, but no picks to dish out. No UFC card this week, so I will not be doing a main card parlay or anything this Friday, but you better believe I will next Friday for UFC 264. Outside of that all being said,
We're not that.
I'm not excited at all for that shit. Please, do it for me. Do it for Mags. Have a spectacular rest of your Friday, unless you have other plans. A terrific segue right into your weekend. Let's cash some damn tickets tonight. We will see you at the pay window in prime time. And after the weekend is over, we'll see you right back around here on Monday, because you know the deal. We need your help bankrupting these sports books one play at a time. So have a great day, my friends. We'll see you later. We'll see you on the flip side coming up next week. But for those of you getting better at my
you got
pronunciations
You're all
here,
over it.
and because we're also working on some potential partnerships and sponsorships. So got to be able to slot them in there, you know?
Sure.
Got to be able to have them. So you guys might be getting some additional solid access to some pretty sweet companies, not just Moneyline Dice. We have some other ones coming up in the horizon.
Gold hammers are us.
That's all you're getting. You're not getting any more hints today before I get too word vomity here. But for now, you know the deal. We are already slap happy and already shooting the shit.
Oh, yeah.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get into the second half of the show, the second half of every episode of the TTL pod. Today's Rants and Reactions. All right, let's drop it into first gear, kick it on back just a little bit, and talk some shit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to sit there like that the whole time. All right, my friend, I got some shit I need to get off my chest, okay?
Go ahead.
I got some serious shit I need to get off my chest, and something that you guys are going to find out about me here today, and I don't, I don't care who knows. Okay. Why the hell not? Here we go. So first things first, comes out yesterday that the LSU product, the electrifying, the motivating, the all-around beautiful human being, Sha'Carri Richardson. Let me make sure I say this right. Sha'Carri Richardson, if you don't know, I'm not exactly sure what event she runs, but she is a track and field runner and is a certified badass.
Yep.
Will burn you down at any length, wherever you want to take it, grass, turf, dirt, sand, she's got it.
I believe it's the 100-meter that's her bread and butter, though.
Okay, so there you go. There you have it. The scene has been set. Well, what's coming up here in just a few short weeks, my friend?
Oh, the old Tokyo Olympics.
Oh, so what is one of the main events in
Tokyo, right?
Yeah. What's one of those main events in those Olympics?
Appears to be the 100-meter dash.
Oh, that's right. Track and field. Something that these players or these athletes train for their entire lives and don't really have a professional stage. So this is the one opportunity they get to get invited to have their name in lights and to represent their country to the fullest. The one opportunity they get. And Sha'Carri Richardson is facing the opportunity to be ripped away from her because of the weed. And I think it's horseshit. Sha'Carri Richardson failed the drug test due to marijuana, and this has to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I may or may not have ingested a few cannabinoids before we hit the start streaming button here today. I may or may not be an avid enjoyer of the Lord's kale. Not the devil's lettuce. It is the Lord's kale, my friends. You see the analysis I put down. You see the vibes that I bring. It's not bad. It's great. It's good. So now we have a young woman who enjoys a confusing herb, if you will, on the side after she's done with everything, after she's done for the day, wants to relax, have a little doobie, watch a little Scooby-Dooby movie, and hang on out. So I don't see the problem here. I might boycott the Olympics and just start smoking a shitload of weed while the Olympics are going on. I don't really know, but the fact that we are still in the 21st century and we have athletes potentially getting held out of athletic competition because of the weed, what the fuck are we talking about?
I'm actually glad you said the word boycott, because I was actually going to bring that up myself. Well, and there are a couple events that I really, really enjoy because they're actually I love USA basketball. They got golf in the Olympics now. Don't know if I would be able to boycott that, but everything else, do I enjoy the Olympics? Sure. Do I need it in my life? Hell no. And Sha'Carri Richardson, do you realize how big of a star she would have been if she went? Hopefully this gets overturned. Hopefully she still has that opportunity, because she would have become one of the biggest female athlete stars in the country. Would have been a massive role model for black female women athletes, all the same. And it's not. And this isn't a performance enhancing drugs. There's been many studies that prove that
unless you're playing video games. Video games.
There's been a lot of studies that show that it helps your recovery as an athlete. And in her case, to what she claimed, her mother passed away. I don't know how long ago, but she was using this as a grieving mechanism. I have no problem with it, man.
Yeah,
and, there's some people that would say, okay, well, it is in the rules. Like, that's fair, I suppose. If it's the rules, it's the rules. But still, this needs to be overturned. And I wouldn't give a shit if I had to boycott the Olympics to get this. I mean, obviously, me alone isn't going to do that by any means. Nobody cares about me as an individual as far as that is concerned. But I don't think America cares about the Olympics. No. I think they care more about this person now than they care about the Olympics after what the backlash and response that I saw on social media yesterday. Especially athletes, on of all walks of life that are in the spotlight. They all stood up for her and called all this BS. So fuck it. I'd be in for it.
I have zero problem with tetrahydrocannabinol. I have zero problem with cannabidiol, and I have zero problem with the other 31 to 75 unidentified cannabinoids in the marijuana plant, which marijuana is actually a made-up word by William Randolph Hearst, who owned the paper company. And when hemp was very, very popular back in the day, he saw that hemp could possibly hurt his business and destroy paper as we know it. So he came up with a word called marijuana, and it was making all these people go crazy. And you know the movies, if you grew up in the times, it's all a farce. The word marijuana was created to create false propaganda so a paper company could continue monetizing and continue being a monopoly. Why do you think we don't see hemp? Because of that exact reason. It's all a farce. It all is. If you want to know how I feel about it, there you go. I am rather educated. You want to go down to the dirt with me about this wonderful plant, I will be more than happy to, because I'm an avid partaker and somebody who will back it up. Absolutely. Because I see the benefits. I see what it does, not only for my life, but for other people's lives. And this is absolutely crazy that somebody might be getting held out of the Olympics because they wanted to have a few couple tokes.
Not to mention, I don't exactly know what state she resides in, but I know for a fact that it is a legal state of this plant. So that alone should be enough to where it's like, hey, she didn't do it illegally.
100%. 100%. Either way, there you go. There you have our takes. The cat's out of the bag. You guys know now, but as if you didn't. Either way, we got a serious problem with it, and you heard it here first. We might be boycotting the Olympics.
Okay.
Who knows? we'll see what happens. But T's and P's is Shikari. Hopefully she can get this all appealed, get all this bullshit out of the way, and she can find herself in Tokyo here in a couple of weeks, because I would love to see her run. I think she's got a very serious opportunity to get some gold there for the USA.
Yeah, no kidding.
She's a certified badass. I already told you that, but
many people are calling her the fastest woman alive.
Yeah, she's a dog. She's a dog and a half. She is. She'd probably lap me about 6 times before I even decided to get about halfway through a 100-meter dash. Yeah. I mean, there's no, I'm good. I am good. So there you go.
We
will get off of that soapbox. There's the latest in the Olympics. Olympics are coming up, so we'll definitely have some coverage. We'll see what's going on. We might have it going on in the background while the show's rocking and rolling, because a lot of those events will be happening. But then again, we might be fucking boycotting. So who knows what's going on here at the TTL Pod? Stay tuned. You'll find out. Let's keep this rants and reactions moving right along here, my friends. Back to the NCAA, the National Collegiate Athletic Association. Players getting paid now, my friends, and might have come off a little too harsh yesterday. I do a little backtracking here today because, wow, this is here to stay. This ain't going nowhere. Some of the biggest names in the social media sphere, in the sports, well, not sports gambling, in the sports sphere, and just in life in general, have already, it ain't even been 24 hours. And some of the endorsement deals and things that have come out are absolutely insane to me, my friend. So, all that being said, any noteworthy, anything you've seen, anything that's come out that you're like, oh my gosh, they are doing what? That has been kind of floating around the internet, because it seems like the entire feed on the old Bird app here lately has been XYZ athlete has signed with XYZ sunglasses company.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken off a lot. I expected things to go, somewhat quickly. I did not expect them to go this quickly. Now you've got, and I don't think they were even, maybe they were thinking about it, but Dave made it seem like he wasn't thinking about it. You got Barstool sponsoring just about literally any athlete that's in a college that wants to be sponsored.
Yep.
I saw one athlete, I think plays football at Miami. He said, my DMs are open if you want to sponsor me. For any other athletes who want, because he does graphic designs. He created this graphic that said all this, and it was fantastic. If any athletes want graphic design from me for this purpose, hit me up. So, I think it's going to be a lot of athletes helping athletes, and we're going to see a lot of athletes, large scale, small scale, getting at least some type of chunk of change here. So,
yeah, absolutely. I definitely walk back some of what I said. Do I still think there could be some potential problems?
Certainly concerns.
Yes.
Sure, concerns.
Do I think that... I think more now that this now more lays on the NCAA's shoulders. This isn't really on the players at all anymore. You know what? Fuck what I said about them getting it. They deserve it. They fucking deserve it. They've worked their asses off their entire lives. If a school has the ability to make hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars off their name and likeness, they should be able to do the same damn thing. So there you go. There's my opinion now. I'm on that. The sheer volume of deals that came out yesterday absolutely blew my mind. And hey, you know me, get that bag, baby. Go and get that bag. Whatever it is, I'm a hustler myself. I know it. I get it. Anything you can see, rock it. And hey, man, we're talking cameos. We're talking just your standard sports companies. We're talking... for crying out loud, pen companies are sponsoring guys for. It is absolutely insane. But kind of back to this being on the NCAA shoulders, I don't think they realize the can of worms that they have opened up on themselves. I don't even think that they realize that this was going to take less than 24 hours for 99% of their athletes to be signed to some type of company on some type of sponsorship deal. And now they have to do all the cleanup. When things start getting out of hand, things, hey, we see this, that's a little bit of a risky deal. I don't know if that college kid should have got into that deal. That might fuck him in the long run. They have to answer for that.
Yeah, there's definitely concerns with it. The one, I was listening to somebody yesterday that was talking about how, you saw it in the past where guys like Zion Williamson became a sports figure when he was 15, 16 years old. Are we going to start seeing companies start talking to those kids 2-3 years prior, so they can get them buttered up and ready to sign with them once the time comes.
Right.
Because that's going to be, you might even have 13-year-olds who are bona fide studs that people think are going to be a no-doubter getting into the, college basketball, college football. Are these companies going to go as far as, recruiting, maybe not recruiting, but you know what I mean? Kind of
something along those lines.
Putting some feelers out there, and that's obviously going to be a weird thing to see, or maybe not see, who knows. But, yeah, like you said, can of worms for sure. And, yeah, pros and cons, no doubt. I think the pros outweigh the cons, though.
Yeah, we'll see what continues to happen and continues to evolve, but it is already on the rocket ship, and college athletes are going to the damn moon. They see the opportunity and they are not afraid to reach out, especially with the world of social media now. So, hey, rock and roll. You guys go get that bag. Go get those sponsorships. And, hey, we'll keep watching you guys play. As long as all of this shit doesn't affect the play, my man Destroying, if you haven't seen any of his YouTube videos, former college kicker, is a great kicker. Destroying is what he goes by, but he made a TikTok yesterday. Absolutely, I lost my mind when I saw it. It was classic football player. He's got his busted down backpack on. He's skating on his skateboard with flip-flops on, and he grabs his phone out of his pocket. And hey, coach. Practice? Yeah, I'm on my way. Shit. And he takes off, and then it cuts scene next, and it's a guy, and it's him, and he's in a full Gucci jumper and his Louis Vuitton backpack, and he's carrying a YouTube gold subscriber thing, and he's got money falling out of his pockets, and he gets up to his Tesla, and he reaches in his pocket, of wad of hundreds fall out, and he goes, "Hey, coach, practice." "Oh, yeah, hold up. I'm on my way. And puts away his phone. And he like sticks a stack of cash on top of the Tesla, gets in the Tesla, and just zooms off. Cash goes flying everywhere. Just classic. And the caption just college athletes before and after the NIL. Just absolutely electric. So, I mean, that was so funny. I suggest you go check him out. But, yeah, it's going to get interesting. And I think we are at the very tip of the icebergs, my friend. So.
No kidding.
Keep it moving right along here. Told you no UFC, nothing going on there. 264 coming right around the bend next week. I will be diving deep into the UFC countdown, all the embeddeds, and some of the outside stuff too, so I can bring you guys the best up-to-date information. And I'm diving deep this week. I might spend a whole damn week for my Friday picks, so might just not spend one day and then rip them out to you on Friday morning live. I am going to take some time, and we are going to have a casher here. NFL. Nothing crazy. Gave you our way too early division winner predictions at the beginning of the week. Nothing else has really came out. No dumpster fires, no new drama. Nobody's getting traded. Aaron Rodgers still hasn't showed up. Nobody really knows if the Titans are going to win. Nobody knows how the Bears are going to be. Just glossed over the Packers there, but we'll see how the NFL goes. We'll definitely keep our eyes peeled. It should be sooner rather than later. I would say within the next week and a half here, we're going to start seeing some serious trade rumors, some serious movement, some different things going on. And then if at the very least, some of these OT rumors, I'm kind of interested to see if more teams start getting fined for these OTA violations, or
3 or 4 yesterday.
Yeah, or whatever the case might be. So there's some stuff happening, but not enough rumbling and bumbling to really rant and react a whole bunch about it. But we'll keep the ears and eyes open, see what we can find out there. Be sure to bring it to you when we do. Outside of that, wrapping things up on the Rants and Reactions, last two sports we got here on the docket in full swing of the playoffs. We got the NBA and the NHL. Well, actually, first, before we dive into all of that action, because the playoffs do take a little bit, MLB, not a whole lot new. The war on sticky stuff raging on, but it did come out yesterday that Chris Sale might be coming back to the Boston Red Sox. Partner, do you think that with how this Red Sox team got out of that slump, how they've been hitting the ball now, is that one dominant pitching arm the last final thing they need in that whole team right now to potentially make a deep playoff run?
Possibly, man. I hope I'm not too biased, because Chris Sale is one of my favorite pitchers of all time.
Why is
on
that?
The South Side for a number of years, and being dominant through a few dark years for my Sox, but for my Sox, not the Red Sox. But I want to say yes, because if he is even 90% of what he used to be, that is a massive boost for that offense, or for that rotation, because they've got 4 or 5 guys that are, Eovaldi was really good yesterday. Pivetta, both of those guys have decent top-line numbers, but they're just not consistent enough, and I don't really trust them against, offenses that come October against an offense like the Astros, or, if my Sox are healthy, or, their own Yankees, or whoever else might represent the AL East. So I think they need him. Do I think that pushes them over the edge? I don't really know, because the AL is pretty tight. Without him, I don't think they can get through the playoffs with that rotation. Martin, Perez, Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was going to be my next two.
One of those guys out of there and replacing him with them. I mean, it's certainly a boost, no question. But final piece to get him over the edge, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where I really lean on that. I mean, that team scares me right now as whoever they're facing. They're absolutely destroying the baseball, but they also scare me in the fact that we get into September, October here. I don't know what that team's going to be able to do. Yeah. They got some stiff competition over there in the AL. So
they still need to fight to make the playoffs. It's a 4-team race in the playoffs right now.
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely. It is getting heated. It is getting hot. There are actually, surprisingly, there's not, when you look through divisions, maybe 2 divisions that the 3rd through 5th or 3rd and 4th team is out of it.
Right.
Every other one is, we're talking 40 and 39, 39 and 41. Like, everybody's right there. It is very interesting how tight this MLB season is actually playing out.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the AL East alone, you got the Blue Jays sticking right around 500. There's a good, I mean, they got to get some pitching consistency.
Yeah,
so
if they can do that, they'll be hotter than hell. But they just,
exactly.
And I mean, when you go down 5-0 in the first 2 innings because of how their pitchers have been, it's hard to get that mojo back that the Blue Jays have, man. And oh my! Speaking of the Blue Jays,
you gotta imagine they're gonna get hot though.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Blue Jays, if you didn't see me retweet it last night, Vlad Guerrero Sr. put out a pretty heartfelt tweet. It got me. It was pretty doggone cool. It was a picture of him and Vladdy Jr. at an All-Star game. Looks like, I don't know, circa 1995, 96, somewhere. Maybe.
No, I think it's like mid-2000s.
Is it mid-2000?
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah, because Vladdy's that like, he's younger than us. So yeah, he's younger than us. So it would be 2000s. Duh. Wow. We're in 2021. Holy shit!
It kind of leads me to I don't know if I remember that specific moment that he tweeted, but I can remember Vlad at the home run derby with this little kid that looked exactly like him running around.
Yeah, I can too.
Here we are.
And here we are, and Vladdy's pimping fucking bombs for the Toronto Blue Jays.
I wish he was in the derby, but
yeah, gosh darn it, I still don't know. But hey, we'll at least get to see him in the All-Star game.
There's been legit concerns as far as does the home run derby ruin a guy's swing. That varies from guy to guy. So
okay. I guess I didn't really ever look at that from that perspective.
I mean, I guess the last 5 years, I guess, is different because guys kind of swing up on the ball a lot more than they used to fundamentally. So maybe it's that narrative's kind of dying a little bit. But overall, I mean, there are a handful of guys that go in deep slumps after they go in the home run derby. So maybe he's just trying to avoid that.
Yeah, maybe so. We'll see what happens there, though. All-Star Weekend coming up quick, fast, and in a hurry. The All-Star lineups are officially out now. So I'm not sure that any of my Cubbies got.
I think it might just be the starters. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's just the starters came out so far, but but I don't think any of my Cubbies got the starting.
I honestly have not been looking closely.
I was so surprised. But either way, I got to dive back into that. Yeah. Who cares for now? All-Star Weekend coming up after a while. We'll get into that when it comes around.
Weeks, I think.
But back into NBA and NHL playoff. First stop, NBA hardwood. We had Game 5 last night between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Me and my partner both were on the Atlanta Hawks. Thought it was going to be very, very impossible for the old Milwaukee Bucks to get any type of mojo going without Giannis on the floor. They were up double digits with Giannis on the floor in Game 4 and just didn't seem to have it going, clicking, and I didn't think that they were going to be able to, regardless, even if Trae Young was out. I kind of had anticipated it, and then I saw the line movement kick back to 4.5 from 3 once the Trae news was announced, and I said, we might still be in trouble.
I mean, the Bucks look like how the Hawks came out in Game 4. Mm-hmm. They looked quick. They looked the ball was popping.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the preparation without Giannis, I mean, I really don't know what to expect going forward. Are we going to see maybe meet in the middle and they both come out looking strong in Game 6? I don't know. I mean, you have to imagine that if Trae Young is even like on the fence, you have to imagine he comes out and
I would say so
forces himself.
Because apparently the Hawks thought that they could get the job done on the road without Trae and save him enough to either get it done in Game 6 or Game 7. Well, now they done fucked themselves, and they got to get it done in 6 and 7. So now we got to go back to Atlanta, get the job done, then go back to Milwaukee, where it's been ruckus, and the Bucks have been pretty damn good in these playoffs, and get the job done there.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I'm just curious to see if Giannis is like not good enough, if he wasn't good enough to go last night, or if they kind of thought the same thing, like, hey, I think we can get this done without Giannis and save him for this game, and if we have to go the last 2 games without him. And now I'm still curious, do they throw him in there Game 6, or do they rest him and put all their chips into Game 7 if
I was that, I'd rest him. I mean, they were dominant as hell. They had the Hawks defense just doing circles all night long. I mean, and then the combination of you had Herter, Williams, and then sometimes Collins bringing the ball up, I do believe.
Oh yeah, against Drew, trying to avoid Drew
Holiday, and they couldn't get the job done. Drew Holiday would get on one of them, and they couldn't figure out how to pass the ball from there. And Drew Holiday was absolutely fantastic. I mean, he has played defense on another level throughout these playoffs. Yeah. So I think that continues definitely as far as from him. Me too. I don't know where this series goes. I don't know what happens. We got to wait now until tomorrow before we get another game. Kind of sucks with now. Yeah. Sun sitting around and waiting. We got to sit around and wait so these guys can get their needed rest and blah, 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 blah. So finally, once again, it'll come around on Saturday. We'll see what the hell happens. But I don't know.
I don't even care who gets in at this point. I just want either whoever gets in.
Well, I do, because I'm still holding tightly to that Atlanta Hawks championship ticket. Yeah. And it is starting to get a little sweaty over here. I have not sweated once about that damn thing. Even like after the big Milwaukee win, I have not sweat once about it until last night. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. We need to do a little something here, Hawks. A little something here, Hawks.
But just I have no. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I have no enjoyment out of watching a Suns versus starless, Hawks or Bucks team. That's gonna
that's gonna be absolutely terrible. And if the Suns, like, that is the most, like, you can pretty much write off that championship. Right. If either one of the teams that they end up facing, the Bucks or Hawks, are injured in any capacity, like, it's just they have faced absolutely destroyed lineups this entire playoffs. Entire playoffs. They have not faced an all-star duo once.
They can't control that, so that's kind of
they can't control it.
But still, sure, you're right. You're not wrong.
Sure, but I mean, man, talk about cake money getting through to the finals, and now they're sitting back, kicking back, relaxing, waiting to see who they get to play. So, hey, more power to you, Suns. We the Valley. Moving right along, wrapping things up with the frozen water, the Stanley Cup ice. Got Game 3 tonight. Tampa Bay Lightning, Montreal Canadiens, my Habs, ladies and gentlemen. Wanted to do a little bit something different here today. We typically talk about how we're feeling, what we think, how I'm feeling about my Habs that I've been bandwagoning for the last month and a half since I told you that they were going to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, and everybody said boo da to me. After going down 3-1, they're fucking here. And I think they might have a shot tonight.
I think they do. It's little still too much up in the air. Obviously, you didn't put anything on your pod picks.
No, sir.
And I don't know if I'm going to take a side at all. But as it stands right now, Lightning at minus 132, 135 range, and the Habs at plus 115. And I was telling you, I don't know if this is a trap line for the Lightning, seeing as though that's not a terrible price. So anyone who thinks the Lightning are just rolling through this series, they're going to eat that up. Or if it's a trap line the other way, thinking the Canadiens can bounce back, and it's still at plus money. So I don't know. What are you thinking on this one?
Man, you know me. I love my Habs. I think this is the spot that they could get it done. I wouldn't bet it any lower than plus 110. Sticking right around that plus 115 mark. I would not bet it any lower than plus 110. I know we talked about it a little bit, and you kind of keyed on it right there, that is this line. I think this is a setup line for the Lightning.
I think so too.
They go from minus 170 to minus 210 favorites all the way down now to minus 135. That just don't make sense. And I mean, I guess you could adjust the line and everything based on going to Montreal, based on how the Habs have been in Game 1 going into Montreal, all of that jazz. But I just think that this is a pure Vegas setup line to get everybody and their dogs to back a 2-0, up 2-0 Tampa Bay Lightning team on an incredibly short line. But Yeah, I think I got to go Montreal. I mean, I think you're getting the right value on that.
Right. I mean, you got. I mean, the Lightning did open up at minus 160 in this, and they've dropped all the way down to minus 135, despite 61% of the money backing the Lightning. So that kind of leads me to where, and both of us, to what we were saying as this being a trap line for people who back in the Lightning, because as that money liability comes higher on the Lightning, that line has gotten easier for the Lightning, or the price has gotten better for the Lightning. So,
yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to back it. I really don't know, but I think
generally key trend. If you see a line getting better and easier for a team to cover when they are getting shitloads of money tossed at them, they ain't fucking winning. It don't happen like that. More oftentimes than not, it don't. Vegas don't work that way. So they think about it. It'd be somebody paying you to give them, or I don't even know how to tee it up. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but you're just literally, the line is getting better for the team that people are betting on. Mm-hmm. So Vegas is generating more of a monetary liability for that team, but also making the line better for that team. Right. So a higher probability that team wins. Makes no sense. So I think I got a lean on over towards the Montreal Canadiens today. I'll definitely be hammering them in. I know I said it yesterday, and you fucking called me on it. I'll believe it when I see that shit. Said I wasn't gonna bet them, but I'm back on them tonight. Game 3, Montreal Canadiens money line.
I'm probably gonna be sprinkling a little bit on there, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet for sure. So there you go. There you have it. There's our insights on the line and the movement today so far. Outside of that, nothing major, nothing else earth-shattering. Oh, you said there was a Cowboys update breaking news
right.
halfway through.
Cowboys Hard Knocks. HBO's Hard Knocks going to be the Cowboys.
Oh, well, I guess that's cool, but
I like Hard Knocks.
I like Hard Knocks too. I thought we had some earth-shattering
breaking I like
Cowboys
Hard Knocks.
I do too.
Cowboys should be a good Hard Knocks. Last year, I just
maybe we get to see the melons getting smashed. Ooh. Maybe we get to see the melon mashing.
The intro to the Hard Knocks, melon mashing.
Melon mashing with big M's up on the stage.
It has to be.
Oh, that would be electric. Wow.
Last year it was a lot of Zoom chats because they can't be in person, so it wasn't a very good Hard Knocks. And now you got Cowboys in person. That's a good one. That is a good one.
I'm interested to see. Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm pretty interested in that now. Will we see melon mashing on the Cowboys Hard Knocks? Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed. Outside of that, nothing major TTL updates wise. Still rocking and rolling, closing out another beautiful week here. We're going to keep getting better and better and better and better. I am making a firm promise to you that I ain't going to be turning in those horse shit days that I have been this previous week. One of those weeks, just what it is what it is. But you keep on smiling. You keep on analyzing. You keep on researching. And eventually you start cashing tickets once again. So I'll get there eventually. I'll catch up to my partner, and I do believe this Friday is just the day that's going to start all of that. But my partner's going to stay hot. Told you need to break out the brooms. Get the brooms out of the closet. Get them dust off. Get ready to do some sweeping here today, ladies and gentlemen. Outside of that, partner, anything else burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul that you have been dying to get out to the kind folks that joined us on episode 72 of the TTL Pod on this beautiful July 2nd, 2021.
Couple quick things.
Okay,
first
baby.
Of all, you skipped over me yesterday, so I'll let
I know I did. I literally,
we were running long. It's all right.
I literally just realized that as I was saying that now. I was like, fuck, I didn't say this yesterday, did I?
So I saved one of what I had yesterday for today. Yesterday, on yesterday's date in 1997, Mike Tyson bites piece of Evander Holyfield's ear off. Surprised we didn't see more of that on Twitter, honestly.
Yeah, I saw a couple of videos.
Did you?
I didn't
Did you
know.
freaking imagine if that happened now with social media?
You have no idea, bro. Because of that
especially to that level of those names.
That would be absolute pandemonium. And the crazy part is, man, is like a bite with a mouthpiece. Like, I even think about a bite with a mouthpiece versus a bite. I would rather be bit bare teeth. Like, a mouthpiece, will literally stick to the skin and rip and pull. Like, I would literally be rather bit with bare teeth. Like, that just sounds so bad. And you can see him lean in, when they get into that clinch, and he does the lean in and out. I mean, just a rip out of his ear. Whoo, whoo, whoo. All right, so yesterday, the anniversary of Mike Tyson taking a nice chomp out of Evander Holyfield's ear. What do you got for us today, man?
Got to go 4th of July. What's your 4th of July go-to food-wise? We're both big food guys, both big 4th of July guys. Got to go with some grill stuff. I'm a big burgers, dogs, brats, all the like. I'm going to have to go brats, though.
I'm going to let you guys in on a little something. I'm going to give you a little something you guys can try out this weekend if you want. So, obviously, I could say the beer brats. My beer brats are the shit. Anybody who eats my beer brats, matter of fact, there might be some people watching this that have eaten my beer brats in the past, and they know the deal, and they also know what Chef Colt puts down. Right? So, you get you some steaks.
Yep.
We're going to do some steaks this weekend, right? I got you a little different way you can do them.
Okay.
Get you some type of sauce you like. I typically like doing an Asian sauce, but something mild, like a hoisin, not like a huge crazy teriyaki or something with just some popping flavors. Just some good mellow Asian flavors, or you could even go more of like a Mexican style, maybe, or even like a chimichurri, kind of something like that. You know, kind of get that feel. So get you a sauce like that. Grill up your steaks how you like them. I like mine medium rare. Hey, the bloodier the better. Shit, if they're mooing on the plate, I like that too. But either way, you want to do it. Now, you're going to do it for just a little bit shorter than you typically would. Just a little. I'm talking maybe a minute or two. So you get it all done. And now, instead of just getting your steak, plopping it on the plate, and going for broke, we're going to let it rest. We're going to get a bowl. Whatever sauce we decided to take, and we're going to fill that bowl full of the sauce. So you can use a whole damn bottle and submerge your steaks in that sauce and let them rest and cool for about 5 minutes or so. What that is going to do is while all the tendons are contracting back together, getting cold, it is sucking all that sauce into the muscles and the fibers and everything good in there. So when you take that out of the sauce, put it on your plate. You don't have to put any additional sauce or anything else in it. It just oozes with just goodness and juices and the flavors interlocking in between. Try that out. Let your steaks rest in about 5 minutes in one of your favorite sauces, and let your mind go crazy. You honestly don't even really need to submerge it. You can just put like a baking sheet and just set it on top. Maybe flip it halfway over and just let it sit and cool in there. And it is, it's something, my friends. Let me tell you that. But yeah, there you go. Ooh, maybe a quick beer brat recipe. If you want the beer brat recipe, get your onion, chop her up. So you got me started. You got Colt.
I got you started.
You got Chef Colt started. Saute you up an onion, nice and easy. Put you some spices in there, a little bit of garlic, parsley, salt, and pepper, whatever you want. Get those caramelized down, and then nestle however many brats you need on into that bad boy. Pour in your beer, whatever you want. I like me a good IPA. Usually do about 16 ounces, give or take, as long as the old doggos are submerged. Let that boil out for about 40 minutes to an hour, just depending, so we ain't got no crazy boozy flavor going on. Rip your doggos out. Drain your onions. Put them all back in the pot together. Or if you want a little brownage on your old brats there, take them outside to the grill, get a little on both sides, slap them on a bun, onions on top, a little mustard. Best beer brat you ever had.
All right. That sounds good to me. Fun.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Well, hey, thank you for getting me on that track, my friend. Little did you know, Chef Colt has a very serious passion. But for you, my friend, haven't got it out. What are you officially feeling for July 4th?
Oh, my man, I said
little brats.
Gotta have the brats. You know, I guess I usually go one burger, one brat.
Yeah. You gotta have the half.
Both. I like a little bit of, some cheesy potatoes on the side. Mama Mags makes some real damn good cheesy potatoes.
Actually used to have a tradition before my uncle passed away a few years back. They lived on what we called Old Man River. And it's old floating river, like one of those you can bring your inner tubes to and float around, whatever. It's on campgrounds out down southern Illinois. You'd never find it if you even looked for it. And what we do is my uncle would be down on the dock. I'd be up manning the grill, and people would just be floating by, and we'd just be handing out hot dogs all day. People just living life, having the best time ever. Then they come by a dock, and there's my uncle handing out hot dogs. I mean, you want to see people's entire day turn around for the better. Give them a couple of hot dogs when they're pissed drunk on a river. I mean, we used to, I think one year get 200, 300, 400 hot dogs out. I mean, just absolute blast. So thanks for bringing July 4th up. Got me down memory lane there. Some good memories. I appreciate that.
Speaking of dogs, you a fan of the annual hot dog eating contest?
Yes, I sure am. That's coming up here, right?
4th of July.
4th of July every year. Absolutely. Yeah. So
I'm a big fan, man.
I'm a big fan as well.
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, Joey Chestnut's a man. He is a man beast when it comes to putting down some food for sure. You ever do any challenges like that? Damn, we're on a roll here. You ever do any challenges like that?
Not hot dogs or anything like that. I would definitely be down for some pizza.
In high school, I was on a mission to complete every food challenge I could in my area. Hot dogs. They had the Big Dog on Campus challenge at crap, I can't think of what it was. My favorite hot dog place. I lived right next to it. It was on Millikan University's campus in Decatur, Illinois. Big Dog on Campus challenge. 2-pound, foot-long dogs on bun, 2 toppings only. Your choice. 1.5 pounds on side chili cheese fries. Actually called them disaster fries because of how much shit they put on top of it.
Goodness.
I plowed through the disaster fries, plowed through both doggos, and I made the mistake of, thought it was a good idea. I'm going to leave the buns for the very end. Going to leave that till the very end. I don't want to get too full up. Got about through 1 6/8 of buns. And body said, boy, you ain't doing this no more. You are not doing this no more. My body started to shut down. My body said, this is not what we're going to be doing on this Friday evening anymore.
And you go for the soak? The bun soak?
Oh, yeah. And it made it even worse.
Oh, no.
So that was when my body was telling me, no more. I said, come on, boys. Come on. We need this T-shirt and we need the free meal. Come on, boys. So I start dunking that shit. And that's when my body really said, yeah, bub, you might as well turn to the right now and get to running down that hallway to the bathroom because promptly we're gonna be doing something kind to your insides. Oh boy. To which I destroyed. But not to get too graphic there. But that is my most recent challenge.
We might have to do. I've been thinking about it. We might have to do. We haven't done a showdown in a while. We might have to do some showdown punishments with something like that type of stuff.
Yeah,
involved.
I'm down. I'm down. Once we definitely get back into the NFL, NCAA, and the college basketball seasons, you will see a lot of showdowns coming from me and this guy. Yeah. Baseball is just too much of a fickle gal for us to really show down. Like, I'll like something, and then he'll say, well, show me down on it. And I say, I don't like it that much. I don't know. So there you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Got a little bit windy. Got into some good stuff there with July 4th. Appreciate your sidebar, as always, Mr. Magnuson. Let's wrap today's show up, episode number 72, the only way the TTL crew knows how, and the only way that I know how, with some motivation minutes. Told you at the top of the show, got just a brief quote for you, a little bit of perspective, and something to get you going this weekend. So it is a quote from Michael Jordan. I will read you the quote and then give you a little bit of my perspective and some additional thought to take with you as we close out the show. The quote coming from MJ is, never say never, because limits, much like fears, are often just illusions. One more time. Never say never, because limits, much like fears, are often just illusions. And I've said it on the pod before. Another one of my favorite quotes, author unknown, your limitations are only your imagination. Any limit that you perceive to have on yourself, keyword there, is a perception. Anything you possibly have limiting you can be removed. And by one person and one person alone. You. And it takes, and you have to want to make that decision. You have to want to realize that those limitations are just illusions. You have to be in the mindset that you can overcome those limitations. Because if you consistently say that you can't, you won't, You shouldn't. You probably never will. I can guarantee you, you never will. The more that you say you can't, the more it cements it in the future that you won't. And now I know what you might be thinking. Stop giving me the pull yourself up by your bootstraps stuff. I don't want to hear that. Life's hard. I can't ever catch a break. Bullshit. I'm sorry. It might seem insensitive, but you have the power. You can do it, regardless of situation, circumstance, upbringing, anything at all. You have the power to remove those limitations and to stop putting them on yourself. You know, another thing that got me really thinking when I started to think about this topic, so many people, even celebrities, even the people that we want to mold our lives after, the definition of success, even those people get into social media and start seeing what others are doing in their circles and start looking at themselves as less than and putting limitations on themselves as to how they'll never measure up or be as good as XYZ person. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop comparing your life to others. And at the end of the day, yeah, we all are human beings. It's easy to do. I use the celebrity example because they're human beings at the end of the day too, and this happens to everybody, so you're not alone. But you have the ability to get rid of those limitations. You have the ability to stop putting barricades around your life, to stop putting those things in the way that you could further where you're at currently, but you decide to keep staying where you're at because you'll never be good enough at this. Oh, I could never learn how to do that. Oh, my father was never good at this, so I can't be good at this. It's all illusions. It's all made up. It's all in your mind. Anything you want and anything you can think of is possible. Anything that you want to achieve is 100% achievable. You just have to want to. So remove those limitations, my friends. Stop putting all these pressures upon yourself because of what other people are looking or what other people might see as success. Just because their highlight reel on social media is great doesn't mean that their backstory is all that good. So maybe you should just stop worrying about that altogether. Stop worrying about the limitations other people put on you. Stop worrying about the limitations that you're allowing others to put on you. Stop worrying about the limitations that you're putting on yourself that wouldn't even exist if you would just have the right mindset. So one more time, I'm gonna leave you guys with this here today, and hope you can keep this close to your heart this weekend and remove any limitations in your life and start achieving, succeeding, and believing that you were put on this earth for a purpose and that you have the ability to overcome, have the ability to advance, and have the ability to be better than you were yesterday. So one more time, never say never, because limits, much like fears, are often just illusions. And that does it for my motivation minutes for today.
Good stuff as always, my man. Great way to wrap up the week, getting us into the weekend. Can't add too much. You nailed it right on the head.
Appreciate you, sir. Yeah, that's one thing I just keep realizing so much in this world is just how much people pay attention to everybody else and everything everybody's doing and how much it just causes issues in your life. Yeah. I say it so often, too. Worrying about what other people are doing or what other people think about you is like drinking the poison and hoping that they die. It don't typically work. Nope. It typically doesn't work out that way. Nope. So there you have it. There you go. My motivation minutes for the day. Outside of that, partner, anything come to the mind before, as I was getting through there? Anything pop up on the phone screen? Anything we need to get to before we let these kind folks go on and get about their weekend?
No, sir.
All right. Well, that's the show. That does it for episode number 72 of the Talking the Line podcast. Make it official. Throw the agenda on out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, degenerates, gamblers far and wide, as always, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for supporting us, for stopping by the show, for helping us bankrupt these books one play at a time, for the following, for the likes, for the comments, everything. Everything you guys do is beyond more than we could thank you for. We do this for you. We are going to continue, as I always say, make TTL better, bigger, better, faster, stronger for each and every one of you. I promise we ain't going nowhere. We have a bad week. We're coming back even stronger. I don't even want to group my partner into that. I have a bad week. I'm coming back even stronger, okay? So, with all that being said, thank you guys. Seriously, I cannot say it enough. Please, just keep coming around. Tell all your friends, tell your brothers, tell your uncles, tell your neighbors. We're cashing tickets, and that's all we're doing. Let me tell you that. But for now, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates, gamblers far and wide, from myself and Mags, we hope you have a spectacular rest of your Friday unless you have other plans. A spectacular start to your weekend. We'll see you right back here on Monday's show for nothing but good old-fashioned ticket cashing. But for now, on this beautiful July 2nd, 2021, let's cash some tickets.